Alright, I'm going to do my best here to explain why the upcoming remake for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is now called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, why this is a huge deal and why you might want to play it. First, let's cover what this game even is and give a little backstory. You've probably heard of Metal Gear Solid at least once in your life if you're a gamer. And no, this is not Gears of War. This is not Medal of Honor. This is not Guilty Gear. This is Metal Gear Solid, baby.
No, that is not Solid Snake. Stop impersonating him.
And I'm sure at some point in your life, at least one person has said, "Bro, you gotta play Metal Gear Solid. It's the best video game ever. Hideo Kojima's a genius. You're missing out, bro." But they're probably right. You are severely missing out if you're not playing the Metal Gear Solid games. This series is an absolute staple in the video game culture. Video games today probably are not the same without Metal Gear Solid releasing 25 years ago, alright? Anyways, today we're talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Delta is a remake of the masterpiece of a video game called Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which released for the PS2 back in 2004. Now, Metal Gear Solid 3 was the third entry in the Metal Gear Solid series. Technically, it's the fifth entry in the overall Metal Gear story. Yes, Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid are two different things within the same storyline, but Metal Gear Solid 3 takes us back to the earliest point in the Metal Gear Solid timeline. It's a prequel to all of the games. Now, for Delta Snake Eater, they got rid of the 3. The 3 is gone. Now it's just Delta with the triangle logo. The devs explained it as a euphemism for new beginnings, a brand new start, something like that. Like I said earlier, Snake Eater is a prequel to explain the origins of Big Boss, who is an adversary and a mystical figure in the other games. It also helps explain the origins of the high-tech, world-threatening weapon known as Metal Gear. Snake Eater is known for being one of the best PS2 games ever. Just look up any list of best PS2 games. I'm sure Metal Gear Solid 3 is going to pop up on all the lists. And maybe Metal Gear Solid 2. And look, I get it, okay? In this day and age with video games, you may be jaded with remakes and remasters and there's no original ideas in gaming anymore, but let me tell you, Snake Eater deserves a remake on modern hardware, okay? I am very content with how Snake Eater looks on modern hardware with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. But at the end of the day, those are still PS2 graphics. So the game still does deserve an upgrade for modern PS5, Xbox Series X hardware. And if you're worried about missing out on the original experience with the remake, don't worry. Delta seems to be a very faithful remake, almost to a fault. There is very little changed here, except bringing the original game to modern consoles. Like remakes these days, like Resident Evil remakes, take the original idea to make something new and give you a brand new experience. The Delta remake is more or less the same game from 20 years ago, just better controls, better graphics, and better hardware. And even back in 2004, the game felt way ahead of its time in storytelling and gameplay. So bringing this classic to modern graphics, this is going to make it feel like a modern masterpiece, alright? The only thing ever holding it back was maybe the funky controls and the outdated PS2 graphics. As much as I love the PS2 graphics, they're PS2 graphics, what can I say? Regardless, the controls and gameplay can be surprisingly complex with a lot of experimentation and imagination. There are so many details, secrets, and hidden mechanics for you to find in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. As the official chronological start to the Metal Gear Solid series, I believe this game is the perfect starting point for anyone interested in the Metal Gear series. I also believe Snake Eater is the perfect standalone game compared to the other games in the series. All the other games, you really need context, you need backstory, you need a lot of the things explained to you. In Snake Eater, not so much. If you only want to play one Metal Gear Solid game, this is probably it, okay? You can just dip your toe in the Metal Gear series, say you experienced it, and move on. If you're only interested in playing one Metal Gear Solid game, this is the one, alright? Play Snake Eater, and you'll get a peak experience, I promise you. But I highly recommend, if you play this game, you can also buy the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. You should also play the other Metal Gear Solid games. But if you're only interested in doing one, if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, your backlog is so big, you only want to play one game, play Delta Snake Eater. Alright, this is the one for you if you don't want to play any of the other ones, alright? Sure, Snake Eater sets up and it hints at future events and it leaves off a few cliffhangers. Longtime fans are gonna be like, ooh, I know what that means. Ooh, I know what that builds to in the future. Ooh, I know how that pays off in the future. But as a casual fan, you can just completely ignore these and enjoy the Snake Eater story as it is. The story is full of espionage and hidden agendas and secret missions. It's a story about love. It's a story about compassion. A story about your duty. A story about the mission. A story about relationships. It's a story about so much. It's a little too complex and smart for me, alright? I'm a simple man, alright? Sometimes Metal Gear Solid can get a bit too complex for my simple brain, okay? But believe me, Metal Gear Solid 3, the story is just, it's so good. This game really puts your emotions through the ringer, alright? By the end, you might be a little emotionally drained, especially with, in the end, you have some twists and turns. You're like, ooh, I did not see that coming. But besides the story, Snake Eater really thrives on the stealth action gameplay. The Metal Gear games are known, they're known for like help start this genre of stealth gameplay. And let me tell you, man, Metal Gear Solid 3 has some damn good stealth gameplay. Snake Eater has multiple different gameplay mechanics to keep you busy and keep you on your toes. You have a stamina bar to manage, and every movement uses stamina. The main mechanic to recharge your stamina is eating food, and you're out in the middle of the jungle, so where do you find food? Well, it's not called Snake Eater for nothing. Eat some damn snakes. Eat some fish. Eat a tree frog. You have a camouflage index to keep an eye on. Based on the type of camo that you're wearing and the environment you're in, your camo index is going to change. As you traverse the different areas, you'll encounter different environments that require different types of camo to blend in. And as you go through the game offers you more camos to find and to unlock as you play throughout the story. And along with camos, you also have different weapons and equipment that you can find throughout the story too. And you can kind of like change your playstyle how you want. You want to be stealthy and quiet and not get spotted by any enemies? Sure, the game offers you multiple different weapons and items to do that. You want to run and gun and shoot down every enemy soldier that you find? The game offers that gameplay style for you if you want, and gives you plenty of firepower to do that if you really want. But at the end of the day, the game really does encourage stealth gameplay. You don't have to. If you're bored by stealth gameplay, you really don't have to in this game, but it is highly encouraged, and that's how you should experience Metal Gear. And as you play out through the story, you have different kinds of boss fights that offer different mechanics that you have to adapt to and find a counter on the fly. And all these different boss fights have different movesets, they have different powers, they have different weapons and abilities, and you just gotta figure it out, man, and it is really fun. Also, Snake Eater is a true single-player game. If you're tired of live service crap and multiplayer games and microtransactions, this game will be a breath of fresh air. And yes, there is DLC you can purchase, but you can 100% ignore it. The DLC is mostly just for hardcore fans like myself. And yes, they are releasing a multiplayer mode in the future, but it's not for a couple months. You can just totally ignore it and just focus on the main story campaign. This is a true single player experience, and there is a bigger picture to look at too. We are witnessing the revival of the Metal Gear series right now in this moment. We are witnessing history with the Metal Gear series. If you're unfamiliar, the original Metal Gear Solid games were directed by Hideo Kojima, who many gamers consider a creative genius. But the Metal Gear IP is owned by the company called Konami. Hideo Kojima and Konami had a very public and rather nasty breakup around 10 years ago, and that put the Metal Gear franchise on hiatus. Konami did attempt to keep the Metal Gear ship chugging along with the release of a spin-off game called Metal Gear Survive. Most Metal Gear fans agree Survive was a huge disappointment, and this was a direction they did not want to see the Metal Gear series continue, especially when Hideo Kojima is gone now. When Survive came out, I avoided it like the plague. I did not want to play Metal Gear Survive, alright? But I did play it for the very first time in 2025, and I did make a 20-minute video talking about it and my experience and opinions, so go watch that if you want. Please go watch it. It's one of my favorite videos I made. So if we're not counting Survive, it's been 10 years since we've had a proper Metal Gear Solid game released, and the last game is The Phantom Pain. I consider The Phantom Pain to be the perfect mix of stealth and action. It's almost a perfect video game. but it does have its flaws. Anyways, going back to the original point, Konami and Hideo Kojima broke up. Konami released a really disappointing video game in the Metal Gear series. In the 10 years since it's been the last release with the Phantom Pain, almost all the Metal Gear Solid games were impossible to play on modern hardware. Many of the digital games were removed from the online storefronts due to issues including expired license use or something like that. Then, the physical games were being left behind and forgotten about. PS2 and PS3 discs do not work backwards compatibility on PS4 or PS5. But luckily, if you had the Xbox 360 version of Metal Gear Solid, it did work physically on the Xbox One or Xbox Series X with the backwards compatibility. But I mean, who the hell owns an Xbox? Really? Come on.
What?
Many fans feared we were witnessing the death of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Just one day at a time, it just gets further behind us. Metal Gear Solid kind of felt like a mythical experience. Like, in the moment when it was happening, it was magical and it was amazing. But now as time was going on, it was getting forgotten about. Konami was forgetting about it. Hideo Kojima is moving on. He made his own studio and he's making FedEx Simulator. I actually kind of like Death Stranding 2. I never played Death Stranding 1, but Death Stranding 2, it's kind of fun. It seems like the world had officially moved on from Metal Gear Solid. We all thought we officially witnessed the death of Metal Gear Solid. But then, one morning, in the month of May 2023, during a PlayStation showcase, we witnessed something that would change the Metal Gear franchise forever.
Yep, there's the theme. Snake Eater, yep.
Snake. It's Snake. Is it a remake?
It can't be. It is? Oh my god. This is actually insane. Holy shit, dude.
Holy shit, they fucking did it. My god, you crazy sons of bitches.
Something in the... What's in the woods? Oh, snap! Yo! Okay, you got me. It's Snake. I know everyone going wild right now. Yep, Snake Eater. Of course it's Snake Eater. No way, dude. Is this what I think it is? It's real! Oh my gosh! It's real! I can't believe that.
Yo! Is this Snake Eater? What? Oh!
Yes! Yes! There he is.
Yes!
The music, I love it. It's Metal Gear! Yeah! God, Snake Eater. Oh, welcome back, MGS.
And there's the man himself. That song, bro, that music.
What a thrill. The darkness and silence through the night.
Let's frickin' go! Let me hear the Snake Eater bit. Come on. The legend's back! Yeah! Let's go! What a thrill.
Wait, Metal Gear Solid?
But it's
That's
fucking
him. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my god! It's Snake! Ah! Yes, it's Snake Eater! Woo!
Yes, sir! Look at that boy!
Oh my god! What? Yes!
Oh! This is Metal Gear Solid? I'm still hoping that that Snake's just gonna pop out of the water. Oh my fucking god!
Yo!
Oh my fucking god! Let's fucking go! Yes! 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 No! Da, 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 da.
Oh! No! No! Let's go!
Oh! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Yeah! Wow!
Wait, it is a snake eating.
Oh! Dude! Oh!
Is it? Oh my god, it is! No fucking shit, I was joking! You know?
Oh! Metal Gear!
He's gonna come up from the water.
Snake!
Oh my god.
He looks so good! Wow!
we received the cinematic trailer announcing the remake of Snake Eater, the greatest Metal Gear video game of all time. And that wasn't it. They also announced a brand new collection called Metal Gear Solid The Master Collection Volume 1, and this was going to be released for modern consoles, and then it was later announced also for the Nintendo Switch. This is, in the moment, 2 years ago, this was huge. It's unfathomable from a Metal Gear Solid fan standpoint. Like, it did not feel real. It felt like an out-of-body experience, and it just didn't feel like this would ever happen. It was crazy. Konami and their devs were confident Metal Gear would continue to thrive and live on for years to come if they put the Master Collection on modern consoles, and they were going to continue to support it. They were also open to the idea of future remakes of older Metal Gear games, and they're willing to listen to fans to see what we want. It's hard to believe, but Konami seems to be genuinely interested in fan concerns and criticisms. They've read comments online, they've taken fan surveys, and they've accepted criticism. Konami is not a perfect company, and yes, they messed up big time burning the Metal Gear Solid fan base. They messed up big time burning their relationship with Hideo Kojima. But you know what? They do seem like they're trying to make it up to us, alright? They do seem to be putting in an effort. Right now, we are witnessing the revival of Metal Gear. The best game in the series has a remake. We have the HD versions of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on the Master Collection, and we can play this on Steam, Xbox, PS5, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Alright, this was not possible like just a couple years ago, dude. You had to play these games on the original systems or emulate them. People were playing Snake Eater on their PS2s because it just wasn't available on PS4 or PS5. On top of all of this, Konami said they called the Master Collection Volume 1 for a reason, so we can expect more of the older Metal Gear Solid games coming to modern consoles, hopefully in the near future, and we assume it's going to be called Master Collection Volume 2. And this is even bigger news because Metal Gear Solid 4 is stuck on the PS3 and it is not available on any other console. Now, if Konami decides to remake more Metal Gear Solid games in the future, we are just witnessing the renaissance of Metal Gear, alright? We are in the middle of it. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is out right now, early access to review, people who review games online, and it seems to be nothing but positive reviews with some little stuff here or there. But even if all this is being done without the original creative director, Hideo Kojima, Konami just needs to stick to the original vision and listen close to fans and make sure they don't tread off too far. They need to stick to the original vision. We will be okay. Now, they do have their hands full. If they do decide to remake more Metal Gear Solid games, what do they do next? Now, Delta Snake Eater is the very first game in the chronological timeline. After this, it's Peace Walker. Are they going to remake Peace Walker? If they remake that, we're back, baby. But then, do they go back to the original Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PS1? That's crazy because, I don't know, like, the level design for that game is pure and true to a PS1 game. But you can tell as you're playing it, like, oh yeah, this is definitely a PS1 game. And if they bring that to modern consoles, it might be more of a hard sell compared to Metal Gear Solid 3, so they might have to take some more creative freedom changing the original Metal Gear Solid 1. Now, on a personal level, my favorite video game of all time, Snake Eater, is getting a remake. The remake is here. It's downloaded on my PS5. I'm just waiting 2.5 days until I can play it Monday night. Alright? This is insane. My nerd heart has never been happier. As a nerd, as a geek, as a gamer, my nerd heart has never been so fulfilled. Alright? This is insane to me. Alright? This remake seems to be a very faithful retelling of the original. And you know what? That's all I want. Because the original game is it's a pretty perfect video game experience. It's not a perfect, it's very close to a perfect video game. My original vision was just give me Metal Gear Solid 3 in the form of Metal Gear Solid 5. Because Metal Gear Solid 5 really figured out the stealth action gameplay. Like I said earlier, it's almost perfect. But it looks like they even went further than that, using Metal Gear Solid 5 definitely as a huge reference and a lot of inspiration. But they made a whole new experience, and my favorite video game of all time in a remake with modern graphics and modern controls. And I have never been happier as a nerd. Anyways, I'm going to be live streaming my very first playthrough and my very first couple playthroughs. I'm going to play through the game multiple different times and try and do different gameplay styles and try to get different experiences, alright? I'm going to live stream through the game multiple different days after it comes out, so come say hi, alright? And thank you for watching, and I'm probably going to release more tutorials and videos and secrets and hidden stuff about the game, so make sure to stick around and check out some more videos. Thank you, and goodbye.